Senate will come to order. Senator Cook.
Mr. President, will everybody in the gallery on the floor please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Majors, please call the roll.
Senators Aguilar, Baumgartner, Carroll, Cook, Crowder, Donovan, Garcia, Grantham, Guzman, Heath, Hill, Hodge,
Friday. I'll hold on.
Hodge, excused.
Holbert, John, Johnston, Jones, Kafalis, Kerr, Lambert, Lundberg, Marble, Martinez Jimenez, Merrifield, Neville, Newell, Roberts, Scheffel, Scott, Sonnenberg, Stedman, Tate, Todd, Ulibarri, Woods.
Excused.
Mr. President.
Here. With 33 present, 0 absent, 2 excused, we have a quorum. Senator Merrifield.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the reading of the Journal of Friday, January 29, 2016 be dispensed with and that the Journal be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The motion is adopted and the Journal is approved. Reports of committees of reference.
January 28, 2016, Mr. President, the Committee on Education has had under consideration as that hearing on the following appointments. Recommends appointments be placed on the consent calendar and confirmed. Members of the Colorado School of Mines Board of Trustees, effective December 31st, 2015, for a term expiring December 31st, 2016. James R. Sponsor of Lakewood, Colorado, serves as a non-graduate and as a Democrat, reappointed, effective December 31st, 2015, for a term expiring December 31st, 2019. Patricia K. Starzer of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, serves as a graduate and as a Republican, appointed. January 28, 2016, Mr. President, the Committee on Education has had under consideration at the hearing on the following appointments. Recommends the appointments be placed on the consent counter and confirmed.
One, wasn't it?
Members of the Private Occupational School Board for a term expiring July 1st, 2018. Paul Edward Garibay, Jr. of Westminster, Colorado, serves as a representative of the general public who is an owner or operator of business within Colorado that employs students who are enrolled in schools that are subject to administration by the Private Occupational School Division and occasioned by the resignation of Lady R. Garcia, ex-dean of Denver, Colorado, appointed for term expiring July 1st, 2019. Richard Semaculo, Centennial, Colorado, serves as representative of a private occupational school, reappointed. Arlene Ray Melee of Denver, Colorado, serves as representative of a private occupational school, reappointed. January 28, 2016, Committee on Education, after consideration of the Mayor's Committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 72 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee on Finance with favorable recommendation.
Mr. Majors, one more committee report.
Corrected Senate Committee of Reference Report, January 28, 2016, Committee on Finance. After consideration of the Mayor's Committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 1 be amended as follows and as so amended before the Committee on Appropriations with favorable recommendation.
Okay. Senate Services.
February 1st, 2016, correctly printed. Senate Bills 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, and 113, correctly engrossed. Senate Bill 10.
Third reading of bills, consent calendar. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill 10?
Senate Bill 10 by Senator Baumgartner and Representative Becker J. concerning the purchase of an off-highway vehicle by a dealer.
Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate adopt the bill listed on the third reading of bills for final passage consent calendar, which includes Senate Bill 10.
You have heard the motion. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Bill 10 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Crowder. Senator Sheffel. Please add the President. General orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of general orders, second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Lundberg will take the chair.
The committee will come to order, and the court rule is relaxed. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of the bill listed on the consent calendar?
Senate Bill 50 by Senators Neville and John, Representative saying in writing concerning a hold harmless provision for retailers liable for any money payable as a result of an incorrect location code assigned by the Department of Revenue.
Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the committee adopt the general order second reading of bills consent calendar, which includes one bill, Senate Bill 50, and its associated Business, Labor, and Technology Committee report.
Is there any discussion of the committee reports? The motion before the body is the adoption of the reports to the bill on the general order second reading of bills consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the report is adopted. Is there discussion on the bill listed in the general orders consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of the bill on the general orders second reading of bills consent calendar. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bill is adopted. Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the committee rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
The Senate will come back to order. Senator Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had one bill under consideration. Mr. Majors, would you please read the report?
February 1st, 2016, Mr. President, your committee whole bill report is under consideration. The following attached bill being the second reading thereof makes following recommendation thereon. Senate Bill 50 is amended, passed on second reading, and ordered and gross placed on the counter for third reading and final passage.
Senator Lundberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption of the report.
The motion before the body is the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole. Are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, the report of the Committee of the Whole is adopted. Senate Bill 50, as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. General orders, second reading of bills. Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I move that the Senate lay over the general orders second reading of bills calendar to Tuesday, February 2nd.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The general orders second reading of bills calendar will lay over until February 2nd. Consideration of resolutions. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Joint Resolution 1003?
House Joint Resolution 1003 by Representatives Lontaine and Rubin, Senators Lambert and Carroll concerning recognition of military veterans and MIA POW Appreciation Day.
Senator Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. President. We move House Joint Resolution 10003. Ask for an aye vote, and I do have a third reading amendment.
Corrected motion would be to move House
And I move-
Joint Resolution 1003, not 10003.
Oh, 10, okay, thank you, Mr. President. I move House Resolution, whatever you said, 1003, and I move L001.
To the amendment, Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Amendment 1?
Amendment L001, House Joint
Senator Lambert.
Thank you, Mr. President. L001, actually, after the governor's name, inserts the names of Admiral Gortney, the commander of North American Aerospace Defense Command, U.S. Northern Command, and also adds the name of John E. Hyten, General Commander of Air Force Space Command. When the House was drafting this up, I guess they forgot there were 2 4-star generals assigned in Colorado. So they skipped down to the 3-star generals, and we're trying to put the 4-star generals back in, and the flag officer.
I think this is good practice for fixing House bills going forward. Senator Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I, too, would urge an aye vote on L001. It's an important catch and improvement, and hope we'll support it.
Thank you, Senator. Is there further discussion about Amendment L001? Seeing none, are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, Amendment 001 is adopted. To the bill, to the resolution, excuse me. Senator
Thank you, Mr. President.
Lambert.
We move House Joint Resolution 1003 as amended.
Further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1003. Are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Joint Resolution 1003 is adopted. Co-sponsors, Senator Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the present roll call be added as co-sponsors to House Joint Resolution 1003.
Without objection, the present roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Joint Resolution 1004?
House Joint Resolution 1004 by Representatives Esgar and Navarro, Senators Crowder and Garcia, considering the USS Pueblo.
Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move HJR 16-10004 and ask for an aye vote.
I think the corrected motion is House Joint Resolution 1004. Where are all these extra zeros coming from? The motion before the body is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1004. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Joint Resolution 1004 is adopted. Senator Crowder.
I move that the current roll call be added as House sponsors or Senate sponsors.
Without objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to House Joint Resolution 1005?
House Joint Resolution 1005 by Representatives Williams and Humphrey and Senators Sonnenberger and Ulibarri concerning the USS Colorado.
Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move House Joint Resolution 1005 and ask for an aye vote.
Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1005. Are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 noes, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Joint Resolution 1005 is adopted. Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Without objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Mr. Majors, please read the title to House Joint Resolution 1006.
House Joint Resolution 1006 by Representatives Wright and Thurlow and Senators Todd and Martinez submitted concerning the designation of a portion of East 6th Avenue in Aurora as the Colorado Freedom Memorial Highway.
Senator Todd.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I move House Joint Resolution 1006 and ask for your approval. Ask for an aye vote. That's right, for an aye vote. We don't need to read it at length. We've already heard it. Ask for an aye vote.
Senator Martinez-Humenick, did you raise your hand? Would you like to? Okay. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1006.
What do we have to do? Don't we just...
Are there any no votes? Senator Aguilar is a no vote? Oh. Was that the grin of Senator? The grin wipes away raising of the hand. Look in the rule book. With Senator Aguilar is a yes vote. With 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Joint Resolution 1006 is adopted. Senator Martinez, Humenic.
I would ask that the current roll call be added, Mr. President, as co-sponsors.
Please make a motion.
I move that House Joint Resolution 10006
Nope.
have
You need to
roll
just
call.
replace the word ask with move.
Just move it. I move that current roll call be added as sponsors. Co-sponsors.
Co-sponsors. You have heard the motion. Without objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Mr. Majors, please read the title to House Joint Resolution 1007.
House Joint Resolution 1007 by Representatives Melton, Longroff, Senators Hill and Heath, concerning recognition of military personnel from Colorado who have served in Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Freedom Sentinel, Operation New Dawn, Operation Inherent Resolve, and in the global war on terrorism, and honoring those who have died while serving the cause of freedom around the world.
Senator Jones, that will be $5. Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, I'm going to move House Joint Resolution 1007 and ask that it be read at length. And again, the reason I'm going to ask for this is just so we can celebrate every single year. We celebrate those who have passed away from Colorado in the past year. And so I think it's an appropriate honor that we read this into the Senate Journal as well.
Colleagues and guests, would you please join us?
Whereas thousands of military personnel from Colorado have served in Afghanistan in Operation Freedom Sentinel, in the Middle East as part of Operation Inherent Resolve, and in the global war on terrorism, as well as past operations, Operation New Dawn and Operation Enduring Freedom, including troops based at Fort Carson, the United States Air Force Academy, Peterson Air Force Base, and Buckley Air Force Base, members of the Colorado National Guard, Army Reserve, and Marine Corps Reserve, and troops from Colorado who are deployed with military units based in other states. And whereas in October 2015, Major Phyllis Joy Pelkey, 45, of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty in support of Operation Freedom Sentinel. Major Pelkey served as an assistant professor of German at the United States Air Force Academy, and due to her integrity and service, she was ultimately selected as aide-de-camp to the superintendent of the academy. Now therefore be resolved by the House of Representatives of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the Senate concurring herein, that we, the members of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, remember and honor Major Phyllis Pelkey and all Coloradans who have given their lives in service to their country in Operation Freedom Sentinel, Operation Inherent Resolve, Operation New Dawn, Operation Enduring Freedom, and in the global war on terrorism. Express our sympathy to the families and friends of those service members who have died, and honor the service, dedication, and valor of all military personnel from Colorado who have served and are currently serving in military operations around the world and in the global war on terrorism.
Colleagues, I think we'll stand in a moment of silence out of reverence and respect, and we will ring the Senate chimes. Thank you. Senator Hill.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, thank you for joining us in this ritual. Please do have a seat. Again, just a reminder of why we do this. Yes, we want to honor and share our condolences with the family of Major Pelkey, but also a reminder that, as Lincoln so famously said at the Gettysburg Address, it's for us to be here dedicated to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. And that's our cause, and we have 100 days left, and it's an honor to serve with each and every one of you, and I hope and I pray that our work here today and for the next 100 days honors that cause of freedom, that cause of a government of the people, by the people, for the people, for which Major Pelkey gave the ultimate sacrifice.
Senator Heath.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I, too, would just like to say a quick word. I had a chance to speak at length to this on Friday in the House, and this is my last opportunity to be a part of this Military Appreciation Day, and it's always been one of the most meaningful for me, and today only points that out again. So, Mr. President, with that, I would move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Senator Heath, we're going to vote on this resolution first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thank you. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of House Joint Resolution 1007. Are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, House Joint Resolution 1007 is adopted. Senator Heath.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll try it again. I move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Without objection, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Consideration of governor's appointments consent calendar. Mr. Majors, would you please read the governor's appointments on the consent calendar?
Members of the Fire and Police Pension Association Board of Directors for term expiring September 1st, 2017. Suzanne J. Morgan of Lone Tree, Colorado, serves as a representative of Colorado Municipal Employers, and occasioned by the resignation of Susan R. Eaton of Denver, Colorado, appointed for term expiring September 1st, 2019. Manuel Albert Escabel of Bryan, Colorado, serves as a representative of Colorado Municipal Employers, reappointed. Pamela Marie Feely of Lakewood, Colorado, serves as a representative of the Board of Directors of a Special District, reappointed. Todd A. Bauer of Denver, Colorado, serves as a full-time paid firefighter, reappointed. Members of the Board of Commissioners of Veterans Community Living Centers for terms expiring July 1st, 2019. Ruth Eileen Minima of Centennial, Colorado, serves as a member with expertise in nursing home operations, who is a nursing home administrator at the time of appointment, who has experienced the financial operations of a nursing home and as an unaffiliated appointed. William Lewis Robinson of Castle Rock, Colorado, to serve as a veteran and the designee of the State Board of Veterans Affairs and as an unaffiliated appointed.
Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that the Senate confirm the appointments listed on the consideration of Governor's appointments consent calendar, which includes members of the Fire and Police Pension Association Board of Directors and the members of the Board of Commissioners of Veterans Community Living Centers.
Is there further discussion on any of the nominees on the governor's appointments consent calendar? Are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, and 2 excused, Suzanne J. Morgan of Lone Tree, Colorado, is appointed. Manuel Albert Escabel of Brighton is reappointed. Pamela Freely of Lakewood is reappointed. Todd A. Bauer of Denver is reappointed as members of the Fire and Police Pension Association Board of Directors. 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused. Ruth Eileen Minima is appointed. William Lewis Robinson of Castle Rock is appointed to serve as members of the Board of Commissioners of Veterans Community Living Centers. Message from the Governor.
May 11, 2015, to the Honorable Colorado Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to the powers conferred upon me by the Constitutional laws of the State of Colorado, I have the honor of designating and appointing submit to consideration the following Executive Director of the Department of Regulatory Agencies, effective June 1st, 2015, for a term expiring at the pleasure of the Governor, Joseph Neguse of Broomfield, Colorado, and occasioned by the resignation of Barbara Kelly of Denver, Colorado, appointed. Sincerely, John W. Hickenlooper, Governor.
Announcements. Senator Newell. Before we get to announcements, I do need to announce a committee assignment for the nomination for Executive Director at the Department of Regulatory Agencies will be assigned to Business, Labor, and Technology. Now, announcements. Effie. Senator Baumgartner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, tonight is the Colorado Technology Association from 5 to 7:30 at the Warwick Hotel. I'm sure we all know where that's at. If not, you go over to Grant Street, go that way about 3 blocks, and it's down on your right. So they'd like for you to come. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Todd.
Thank you, Mr. President. And before I make this announcement, I want to make 2 announcements. One, I have been debooted. So if you have not noticed, I am actually wearing a shoe today, which is very exciting. And thank you all for your hop-along comments and all those words of encouragement along the way. Now, to a more serious topic, you will notice that on your desk you'll be receiving an invitation for Wednesday for Avid Day at the Capitol. There will be a gathering outside the old Supreme Court chambers on Wednesday morning to come and meet some of the Avid students and teachers that are from your high schools and from your neck of the woods. And so read about it, kind of know what kind of questions you might want to ask those students and teachers when they come on Wednesday, and encourage you to participate in Avid, which is the Advancement via Individual Determination Intervention Program for students in Colorado. Thank you.
Senator Newell. Senator Ulibarri. And Marble.
Once again, we're here to announce Orange Tuesday. Yes, it's tomorrow, weather permitting. Hopefully we will be open for business. Bring your canned goods. We are having a big contest with North Carolina legislators against the Colorado legislators. And yes, we are the underdogs as they outnumber us. So we will wear orange, and we will have the ability to really show North Carolina what we're made of. So,
Senator Ulibarri.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, again, we are doing a food drive in conjunction with Orange Tuesday. If you have canned goods or non-perishable items, please bring them here. We are in deep competition with North Carolina. Bring your canned goods here. Both the Republican caucus chair and myself will be sending out information later today about the collection point. We do want to show that we are Colorado strong and that we are showing up to represent our state in the way that we hope our football team will. So please bring in those non-perishable items tomorrow for Orange Tuesday.
Senator Newell. And Todd. Senator Newell.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we have a moment of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you. Members, Today we have with us the Family Leadership Training Institute. They have been awarded the distinction of being the first of its kind in Colorado. We want to welcome them. They are the Family Leadership Training Institute. They are today from Arapahoe County, Adams County, Denver, and Douglas. And they are here to learn about the legislative process. So they may be coming to you on certain issues or questions about how to engage. It's a public-private partnership designed to bolster family involvement and leadership skills. It includes a family civics program offered in 7 communities throughout Colorado. And it also, we will see over the legislative session, we'll also see folks from Lake, Larimer, Mesa, Prowers, and Dolores and Montezuma counties. And this partnership is offered through a partnership between the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment and several sponsors, including Children's Hospital, Colorado State University, and Colorado Department of Human Services, and the Colorado Health Foundation.
Senator Todd.
Thank you, Mr. President. And it is a family civics program and a first of its kind in Colorado. The participants spend over 120 hours over a 20-week period to develop skills that are needed excuse me, to become effective leaders in their communities. They're required to develop and implement some kind of a project, and that is really addressing a problem that meets a specific need in their community. And each class is comprised of about 20 to 25 individuals, ranging in age from parents to grandparents raising grandchildren. We see that there's some markedly changes in our communities, and so really looking at that wide spans, the classes are evaluated by families for short and long-term incomes. This is a private-public partnership, and there are over 600 graduates in the Colorado program that is one of 25 national sites. So if you see them, if you have them come and visit you, please take a couple of moments to welcome them to the Capitol and thank them for their dedication to making us a stronger state and stronger nation. Thank you.
Colleagues, would you please join us in welcoming our guests? Additional announcements? Majority Leader Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, a couple of things. First of all, note in your calendars for today that Senate Business, Labor, and Technology Committee is scheduled to meet at 1:30. That is not accurate. They will be meeting at 2 p.m. Please note that, notwithstanding the listing of 1:30, Senate Business, Labor, and Technology will meet at 2 p.m. Second, I know a number of you have been questioning the weather. You're monitoring that, so are we. And we will be communicating through leadership and through staff, but know that we're monitoring the weather as it continues to worsen throughout the day to make a game plan for the afternoon and possible effects on tomorrow should that become necessary. Stand by for news there. Finally, the Senate will recess as we have bills to read over. We'll be coming back at 1:30. You do not need to be here. We'll just be reading bills over the desk.
Senator Shuffle.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, what we're going to be doing is we do have a system whereby we notify you of weather cancellations, and so Mr. McKay is going to be sending out a text message to your phones as a test to that system. If you can make sure that you get that. If you don't, see staff, and we'll make sure that your updated numbers, et cetera, are in the system, but he's going to send out a test message right now.
Did everybody get that? Raise your hand if you just heard the last message. So the rest of you may be here by yourself in a snowstorm. This is important, so please pay attention to the text coming from the Senate Secretary, because that's how you will be notified if there is a snow afternoon.
Appears to be coming in.
You already sent it?
With that, Mr. President, at this time I move that the Senate recess to 1:30 this afternoon.
Okay, so did you, everybody confirm that you got the text just now? And then we will let you go individually. Senator, come on, raise them up. We're not asking you to co-sponsor anything. Just let us know. You don't have to sign on to my bills. Just let us know you got your text. Senator? All right. Tell you what, now let us know if you didn't get it, and we'll make sure you did not get it. That was intentional. Senator Scott will not be getting a text from the Senate Secretary. You did not get it? If you did not get a text, please come up and talk to the Secretary. Make sure you're on this. This is vital.
Not getting it?
Yeah, if you still have a party line, chances are you're not going to get the text. If you did not get the text, come see the Secretary, please. Okay, Mr. Majority Leader, sorry.
Thank you, Mr. President. Now we've got our texts squared away. Move the Senate recess to 1:30 this afternoon.
You've heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The Senate will recess until 1:30.